Megan here with Beautiful by Megan Horse and my handsome husband Justin, and I'm going to show you how to cut a men's haircut, or how to do a men's haircut. So here we go. I'm going to start with the clippers, and I'm going to have a number 2 blade. So I'm going to start using a number 2 blade. I'm going to keep the clipper against the nape of the neck and just rock the clipper up. I don't want to go any higher than this when I'm tapering the haircut. You might have to go over the same area twice or 3 times, depending on how sharp your clipper blade is, to make sure you pick up all the hair. It's best to do clipper haircuts I feel like on cleanish hair, and you can have it a little bit damp if your clippers are for cutting all types of hair, or you can have it completely dry. So I'm going to go to a 3.5 now. And if I had a 2.5, I would be using a 2.5 next, or a 3, but I only have the 3.5. So I'm going to go straight from the 2 to the 3.5, and I'm going straight up. I'm not keeping the clipper on the head. I'm going straight up because I don't want this area to be that short. Sometimes it's helpful to have your client hold their ear. And like I said, I'm going straight up, and then I'm rocking it away from the head when I get towards the top. So I'm going to keep it to right above the temple. So I've dampened the hair with a water bottle, and I've sectioned it in a mohawk section so that I can get a good grasp of the sides and make sure they're even when I'm cutting them. So for the sides, I did a combination of scissor over comb just to check that my areas were nice and even after I did the scissor cutting with the comb and my fingers. At that point, you want to have your client look in the mirror. It always helps to have the reflection of the mirror. It shows you a lot more than you can see with your regular eye. And then you want to just kind of pull on the hair and make sure it's even on both sides. Then I like to dampen the hair as I'm moving forward just to make sure it's not too dry. And so for the top, it really depends on how they want to wear it. For Justin, we did sort of like a faux hawk thing last time where the middle was like a little bit longer than the rest of it, and as it grows out, he can part it. So we like to have no part in the beginning, and as it grows out, it gives him the option to part it if you want. All of it in the middle. Kind of make sure it's over in line with their nose and in the middle of their face. And then you can either go in with a straight line, or you can point your scissors on an angle and point cut. Moving on to the next section, I'm using the middle as my guide, and I'm cutting the section right next to the middle. See how my guide's there? There's my guide. And I'm going over to the next section and using that previous cut section. Always being able to see my guide. You can see it there. If you lose your guide, don't worry. Just find it and then start. Now I'm going back to the middle and slightly over to the other side. I see my guide right there. And a little further over. At this point, you can stand from behind and check to see how your haircut looks. It's a little bit longer in the middle, which is what I wanted. So it kind of goes to like a faux hawk. And what I like to do also is go in that middle part, and instead of holding my scissors mostly to the side, I tilt them more vertical and just kind of point cut into that. But if you weren't doing a faux hawk, you could certainly cut straight across or just make sure it's all even on the top part. Now I'm going to go over to my other side and see how it looks. So do you see how this section is still too long? So I can go in and make sure I blend that. I'm just connecting the line. And by point cutting, it's very forgiving, and it offers a lot of texture for people with very like that kind of hair that shows every kind of cut. At this point, I'm texturizing. And I haven't cut the very front yet. I'm choosing to do that last. So for the front part, I'm just gonna bring it down with my fingers angled to where the corner of his forehead is. And do you see how I can see how much I wanna cut? Since I did it kind of like longer in the middle, I'm gonna angle it down. If I didn't want to, I could angle it more across. So everything looks pretty even and pretty good. And you just want to go in kind of like a half an inch from the top and just lighten it up a little bit. You don't want to go like down really far. You just want to keep it towards the ends, like half an inch from the ends. And that will just give him a little bit of room and air and space for his hair to move. I'm going to use, so I have some transforming paste that I'm going to use, and it's like tacky. I'm going to try to get this underneath the hair. So even though it's a little painful, sorry honey, I'm pulling on the hair a little bit, but
That's fine.
I'm getting it in, and then I'm using the tips of my fingers to kind of push it down, and then those sides can get pushed down. I love it. You look super handsome. What do you think?
Great.